All right, let's talk about smart kids and drugs, because it turns out that if you're doing drugs as a kid, you're probably going to be smarter in real life. Studies show a correlation between high childhood IQs and getting high. We're talking about weed here.
Yes.
Using data from the 1958 National Child Development Study, researchers published a report last year that found that children who have higher IQs were more likely to use illegal drugs later in life. Again, I believe this was mostly about weed. Does this surprise you guys at all? It seems to me that I know a lot. I think I know some smart people, and I know a lot of people that smoke weed.
Thank you.
You know,
no,
what are we talking
if you're
about
smart and you're intelligent, also smart. Why don't I use the same word twice? No, you're going to be curious. Not everybody who's brilliant like me,
right.
But no, I mean, I think many people are curious at one point, want to do something to get the juices flowing.
Yeah.
Pot's the greatest drug in the world, except when I fill out my life insurance policy. But it is the greatest drug.
Then it's completely.
I've never heard of it. I don't even know what you're talking about. The character of Andy Kindler might know.
Right.
And I do some sweet damage at Hugo's Tacos when I'm high.
Yeah.
Beautiful damage.
Then the tacos
oh my
probably,
God, I'm keeping them in business for at least another 4 years. But I think you're right. I think that a lot of really smart kids feel understimulated. They get bored in school. They're bored by their peers because they don't connect with them like they'd like to, because they're not on the same IQ level. So they look for other ways to self-medicate, other ways to feel stimulated, and they get high.
Well, and also alcohol to me. Well, I don't drink because I have a Jewish alcohol syndrome. I just get sleepy. So I don't think alcohol, for most people, stimulates you like your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I think things like pot are different because they actually get you thinking or eating.
Right. So is this one of those things where it shows how stupid our war on drugs is, that we lump weed in? We lump weed in with all these other hard drugs when, in fact, and then people see people stoned and not really doing anything evil, and then kids can't make the connection that there's a difference between drugs. So they see that weed is kind of cool, and that these other drugs are probably.
Kids know anyway, and all this stuff. A lot of that stuff was political too, because hippies smoked pot, so it was in the interest of the government to make those type of things even more illegal.
Well, I grew up at the time with the best, after-school specials and Growing Pains with the Coke party.
Saw that episode.
Oh yeah, and the weed.
Boner stayed at the party.
Boner stayed at the party.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, whatever, it's my parents' Coke, and it was like to be continued, and there's no music at the end of the credits.
Yeah.
But there were so many of these sitcoms that villainized weed, and I was in Just Say No Club and Dare, and I never got it because weed's pretty great.
Right.
It's a victimless drug.
But that's
It's not
the
victim.
point.
It's not a drug. I mean, it's not victimless. Go ahead. Sorry.
Wait, what do you mean it's not victimless?
I mean, it's not. It's something.
Even...
More and more information is coming out that says it's very. Not that people can be addicted to anything,
right?
But and some people just do get spaced out. But it's it's helpful in not just in chemotherapy. It's supposed to, in many ways, I think it's actually going to be found to be positive for the body.
Yeah. Well, did you guys see this last week? Dr. Sanjay Gupta on CNN had a mea culpa because after all this time of railing against weed, he finally is.
Was he railing against weed?
Yeah, he's been against even medicinal marijuana, and he finally now did this special saying he apologized. He actually said, "I'm sorry," and now he's pro-weed.
Right, and for a country, and especially a state that is so woefully underwater when it comes to money, why isn't it just a recreational thing that we can legalize, tax the shit out of it?
Which
we don't
state?
care, we'll buy it anyway.
About this state, right? California?
Yes.
Yeah, but you don't want to make the taxes too high because then the black market kicks in. I just have to check with Nancy Snyderman and all this. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Nancy Snyderman, because she's on NBC and she doesn't know anything.
Yeah. Should we not listen? Are you saying we shouldn't listen to doctors on television?
They're the worst. They're absolutely the worst. I like Robert Bazell, but is one of my favorites. He has a problem with the hands. He's always like, blah, blah, blah. But all these people who say, like every 2 years ago, salt's terrible for you, and then they find out salt is not bad for you. Right. And all these people are the conventional wisdom junkies. That's all they do is tell you what the conventional wisdom is. I'm glad Sanjay Gupta is coming around. That's what I say.
But partly I was thinking that Sanjay's thing is he probably knew this all along, but 3 years ago it wasn't cool to say you're down with weed. Now he sees the times changing, so CNN's like, hey, Gupta, let's
I
come.
never like that they're saying Gupta. Get in here for a second.
Gupta, let's come around on the weed thing, don't you think? I mean,
but I think maybe he didn't know. He wasn't even knew enough about it because he doesn't seem like a guy who got high, Gupta.
Yeah.
So maybe it's really that's something he didn't pay attention to, so he bought the line on it.
Man, you really think those CNN guys aren't just? You don't think Wolf Blitzer's taking a bong hit?
Oh, I do think Wolf Blitzer's taking a lot of bong hits.
He's too mean. He's mean on the camera.
Yeah.
He's in the situation room.
He's under
you can't play around there.
Yeah. yeah, that's a lot of pressure to be at work in a place called the Situation Room. But that's a whole other thing. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. Thank Andy Kindler. Thank Gina Grad. Subscribe. It's down there. I should have said it 20 other times. Now get out there and have sex, do some drugs, pay attention to Egypt, watch Al Jazeera.
Drink Coke.
Drink Coke. And there was one more. What was the other one?
Consume a lot of aspartame.
And if you're going into comedy, you're going to make a boatload of dough.
Right.
Okay, subscribe. We'll do it again next week. Thanks.